Hey guys, Chris from the Ultimate Recycler. Welcome back to the shed. With the onset of cold weather here in Australia, heaters are coming out of the cupboards. I'm getting quite a few in the Ewaste now where people are pulling them out and they're not working. This one was brought into the shop and the guy says it used to work and it just stopped. The fan still works, but the heat doesn't. So I thought, well, we'll do a bit of a repair and see if we can sort out what's going on with it. It's not really worth a lot of effort for something like this. I would only resell it for $10 with a safety test and clean up. But I like to try and save them. There's a lot of plastic in them, and quite often there's not much wrong with them, and they can last for many, many years before they actually do become e-waste. So we'll see if we can fix this one. And every one that I've had lately from the Monday Marathon series, I've put in the shop and it's sold the first weekend. So heaters are certainly on people's minds. I've got the one going up there at the moment, which is great in my shed. I still haven't uncovered my buried wood heater. Need to get to that. I have made some inroads, but we haven't had much spare time lately. I need to get onto it. Let's see if we can fix this one though today. Okay, it's a Hella, pretty standard 2-speed fan heater, or 2-speed low heat, high heat. Just the fan and then off with a thermostat. Electric motor, fan, heating elements across the front. Some of them have a safety switch. This one actually does, but I know that will be okay because he said the fan worked fine and that safety switch will cut out everything. So, all right, let's plug it in, I guess, and see exactly what it's doing. Firstly, I'll make sure the cord's okay. There's no sense fixing something and then finding out that it needs a new cord. Right, let's power it up through the appliance tester. We'll go to fan. We've got no fan. Oh, the thermostat's down. That cuts out everything when it's down really low. Fan's working fine and it sounds pretty good. And if I pick it up, the safety switch turns it off. So that's fine, but we only have cold air. No good for this time of the year. If we go to half heat, still cold. Full heat, still cold. So he's right, there's no warmth at all. Something to do with the heating element, I would guess. A wiring issue. And can't see anything going on in there. But certainly we have no heat, it's just blowing out cold air. Alright, well, we'll put the towel on the bench, we'll pull it apart and we'll try and trace some voltages and see what's letting us down. Just spotted a date code here on the sticker, date code 0923, so September 2023. That's really a bit young to be thrown into e-waste, surely. You should get a better life out of them than that. So we have some screws in the casing. They don't look to be security screws, they're normal Phillips head. There's 4 of those. That should be all we need to take out to split the thing in half. Okay, cord is unplugged. Fairly important step. You don't want to pull something apart while you still have mains power going to it. Alright, does the front come off at all? Oh, there we go, that just pulls out. Oh, we have something broken in here. We have a little piece of plastic with 2 springs. I didn't actually shake it to see if there was anything loose. Where would that have come from? A little bit of dust on the back of the heating element, but that looks okay. Nothing appears to have been extra hot. Okay, just a closer inspection of the bit that fell out. We can see, and I'm hoping you can see through the camera, the edge of that plastic is rough. Which side? Around this side. It's definitely broken off something, as you would expect for an odd piece of plastic. So it's either come out of, well, the only 2 black items in here are the safety switch on the bottom there, which you can hear clicking, or the main control switch here, which I'm thinking that I'll have to pull it out and have a good look at it. I can't see immediately where it's come from, unless it's come from around that side, maybe. But they're the only 2 parts that have black plastic, and that main switch does supply power to the heating element, whereas the safety switch on the foot really just turns the whole thing on or off. So I'm pretty sure it'll be part of this switch. We'll have to pull it out and see if we can find what's happened and work out how to fix it, or whether we can replace that switch from another old heater or something. But that's the next step. Pull that one out. Okay, so the knob should come off the top. There we go. A couple of screws there. That's easy. Okay, that's released that from the top case. And just having a look around it. Ah, yes, on this side. All right, so we'll pull the wires off here from the heating element. Give us a better view. I'll slip the covers off to make them easy to release. There's usually a little metal tag that you can, a spring-loaded tag that you can press on, and they slide off much more easily. Okay, that's got that one off. They have a little spring-loaded clip. They're all slightly different, but sometimes just pulling hard, all you're going to do is break the casing. So I usually slide the covers off and flex that little clip, and it's usually enough to get them to slide off fairly easily. There we go. Particularly because some of these switches get quite hot and the plastic goes very brittle, so we can see where that's come from. It's obviously part of the switching mechanism to send power to the heating element. So I don't think that's repairable easily. It looks like there's also a crack through to the other terminal, so that switch is no longer viable. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find one here. I might have to see if we can order one. Hopefully they're not too expensive. So I'll take these off. Because I'm filming this, I will know where the wires go. But it's easy to take a photo if you're not filming. So we'll slide all these covers off, and we can release those terminals. There we go. So we can see a hole there, which is where this part went into. Obviously the two springs helped to work a contact onto the right spot when you turn the switch around. So the switch still feels fine, although it doesn't sound fine. It sounds like a baby's rattle. Oh, there's a terminal just falling out. All right, so clearly there was a malfunction in that switch. Let's pull this. There we go. Look at that. It's got a little silver button on it too. So that switch is no good. I'll have a look online to see if I can buy them cheaply. As I said, I'm probably only going to get $10 for this heater anyway, so it's really not worth spending money on, unless I can find another heater that has an identical switch in good condition. Okay guys, it's a couple of weeks later and I have a part. I found a new switch. At first, when I checked online, I went to eBay, couldn't find any on eBay. Just Googled the switch and went to the shopping tab. Found some links to, once I'd established the part number for the switch, I found some available. I forget where they were like 57 cents each, but you had to order a minimum of 1,000, so that's no good to me. I went on to AliExpress, typed in the part number, found the exact switch, sent out to Australia, $2, and I think it was $2.20 or round about that. $2.20 for a brand new switch from, I presume, from China, including postage. How do they do it? I cannot understand. If I was to post this switch to someone within Victoria, even to the next town, whichever direction, it would cost me about $10 postage. And this turns up from China to here in a couple of weeks for a grand total of $2, and I think it was $2.19 it might have been. And that's the price of the switch as well. I just do not understand that. Anyway, for that sort of money, I'm happy to put a new switch into this heater and we can get it going. And to sell it with a brand new switch in it, I'll probably go $15. Make a bit of a profit on my $2.19. Okay, well, we better open it, I guess, and make sure it got here safely. And hopefully it's the right one. It looks to be the right one. Not really well packaged, but I guess what can you expect for such a low outlay. Alright, there she is. And that looks absolutely exactly the same. Well, not quite. It's the right switch. Goes that way. But this one actually does say made in China, and it doesn't have the part number on it that this one has. So a different brand. This one is Temsi, and that's what I used when I was searching. So this is obviously an aftermarket replacement, but it's an identical looking switch. So it should do the job as long as this one doesn't shed its springs and fall apart. Okay, alright, well I better look at my footage and get the wiring right. I'll plug it back in and we'll reassemble the heater. So now we have the new switch plugged in, and I'm confident that the wires are on the same terminals. I've put the covers back on them. So now we can actually flip this over and put the screws into the new switch. The self-tappers will probably be fairly tight because it just goes into the plastic housing. There's no thread cut, so the first time they screw in they'll probably be pretty tight. That's okay. Now I have to remember, we don't have to remember, all the screws are the same size. So sometimes you have shorter ones for something like a switch, and the longer ones might go in the case. They're the same shaped heads and everything, I think. Those ones are slightly shinier, so I think we'll use those too. They would have come out of the switch. Alright, need to line the holes up, a bit hard to tell. Should be good there. Where's my screwdriver? Alright, we'll just get one started to make sure the other one goes in. Yep, those screws feel like they're going in nicely. Don't want to over tighten them, they'll strip out the plastic pretty easily. Okay, hopefully the knob fits on, it should do. And does the switch sound alright? Yep. And the indicator points the right way, so good. Bit dusty there, I'll have to clean that up. So that feels pretty good. All we need to do now is to assemble the heater and give it a test. I'll have to remember if there's any wiring that needed fixing anywhere. I didn't undo any cable ties. Nothing's in the road of the fan. That clicking you can hear is the safety switch. Alright, we should be good to go. Okay, the casing's dropped together nicely. We have 4 screws to join it all together. Okay, with that back together, we can power it up through the appliance tester and hopefully warm up my shed a little bit. In a slow controlled manner, not in a fast, unexpected explosion. Rightio, power on. And our switch should bring the fan on for a start. Beautiful. Let's make sure the safety switch still works. Yep. So let's go to half heat. Ah, beautiful. I can feel it warm already. In full heat. Ah, that's nice. And that distinctive smell of burning dust because the elements haven't been used for a while. Plus I've probably disturbed the dust. That feels nice. In fact, that's starting to burn my hand. So very nice. The thermostat should be working. Let's turn that down. Clicks off. Excellent. One repeat heater. Very easy. Straightforward. And who knew you could buy a switch that cheaply internationally? The only parts we have left over are the broken switch and the parts out of the broken switch. So we have a piece of brass there with a little silver button on it. It's not a solid silver contact, it's probably just, I think it's copper just with a plating of silver across the top. They do that because silver is a much better conductor of electricity than most metals. Some people save all these buttons for silver recovery. I don't really think it's worth chasing it specifically, but when I've got one here, I will snip the contact off. It's obviously still going to have a copper and brass base to it, but I'll put it in a jar, and who knows, one day I might try some silver recovery. So that's just a piece of brass now. We better check with the magnet, but yes. So while we're going, what else can we salvage out of this switch? Well, you know I'm going to take the springs. They'll just pull off that plastic piece and go in a jar of springs I have here. What's in the rest of the switch? We might as well break it open. It's no good for anything else. Okay, how's it going to be to get into? Oh yeah, I think this part will come out. There we go. So we're going to find some more contacts and some more springs. There's another contact with a silver button. And there's probably a ball bearing on there. Not much, most of it's plastic really, isn't it? Another contact on this piece. And there's another spring under there. How are we going to get that one out? We might have to peel that out with the side cutters. So there's another little brass piece with a silver contact on it, another spring. And these terminals themselves are probably brass, probably nickel-plated brass. I'm not sure if they'll come out easily. We may have to get a bit more brutal with these. Oh no, it'll slide through. So, should be brass. That'll be nickel-plated brass. So it can go in our brass bin. So I'll just continue to pull the rest out of this switch and we'll see how much we get. So the switch has been totally scrapped out. We have that and that of brass to go in our brass bins. We have two little ball bearings, and yes, I always keep them because you never know when you need a ball bearing. We have, what have we got, half a dozen here, little silver contacts just clipped off. So not very much silver at all, but I'll save them for now. And we have some springs. Well, we've got 5 springs, which will go in a little jar here for springs, and I sell jars full of springs in the shop. And we have a little bit of plastic to go in the bin. So that ends our journey of the switch replacement. So there we go, guys, all cleaned up, ready to go, fully functional, and pretty much as a new one. I don't think we'll have too much trouble getting $15 for that. I think they're around about $30 new, but this one's now as new. New switch, certainly. So it's been a perfect night to work on a heater. Actually, it's cold, so it's been a perfect night to have success working on a heater, and I'll take that to the shop, probably sell it first day, the way the weather's been lately. The good thing is, though, we've saved it from being thrown out, and it was almost a viable job. If I wasn't filming and explaining what I was doing, it would only be a 10-minute job. It probably took just as long to find the part on Google, and then, of course, we had to spend, what, $2.19? So, but still almost viable, which is a long way better than a lot of my repairs, but the important thing is we've saved it. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you in the next video. Bye for now.